Hi friends, welcome to Anna with Plants. My name is Anastasia. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Long time no see. A quick life update for me is we moved house. If you don't know, my partner and I bought a home in March. It has been so crazy. I had no idea that it's been a month since I uploaded. Time was moving by so fast, but it also felt like during closing so slow. So long story short, it's been a while since I uploaded, but I am back, and I am back with a plant haul. In addition to buying a lot of things for the house, I've also been purchasing a lot of plants too. I don't really have any excuses. This is a haul from The Green Escape. If you don't know what The Green Escape is, they're a store on Etsy. They're pretty well known for starter plants, which are basically tiny plants that come in plugs. And I justified in my brain of buying all these plants because they are so small and that they're not supposed to take up a lot of space, but you know how that goes. Also, if you're wondering why I'm leaning over like this, I found my tripod, which I thought was a taller tripod, but it turns out it's much too short. So I actually have this tiny tripod propped up on a moving box. When I stand up, you guys aren't going to be able to see me or anything, which is fine. Hopefully this angle will be enough for you guys to see the plants, which is all that matters anyway. Okay, so things that we're gonna use in this video, we are gonna have this tray for all of the little starter plants to go into. All of this I got on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link it down below. Essentially, we have these 2.5-inch pots here that are translucent, that they fit perfectly into these inserts right here. That makes it easy for watering. And then we also have this bottom tray that is what I'll be using to hold all of these. Then we also have some clay pebbles that I'm going to be using on the bottom of each of these plant pots. Lastly, this is going to be the mix I'm going to be using. So this mix is basically 75% a tricolor mix that I got on Etsy that I'll go ahead and also link down below, but it is a mix of lava rock, both the black lava rock and the red lava rock, and pumice. That makes up 75% of this mix, and then the other 25% is tree fern fiber. I've been kind of playing with combining pond with tree fern fiber just to have a very aerated tree fern mix, because I find, I'm gonna put this down, because I find that tree fern is very water retentive, which is a huge plus of it, but if you just pot it up by itself, it can get on the wet side. So I figured if I just put pond in there, that it should make the mix more moist rather than wet. This is kind of just something that I've been playing around with the last couple of weeks. So far, all of the plants that I've kind of transplanted into a mix like this has done pretty well. So this is what we're going to be using today. What else? Oh, you guys are going to be so proud of me. So I finally bought a potting mat. I know, the days of garbage bag repots are behind us. Hopefully that is not going to be too distracting. Let me know if I should get a more plain potting mat. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of pretty, but let's just start opening these plants. I'm just going to grab them in no particular order here. The first one I grabbed is the Antora Velvet, which I think is an alocasia. This is a very interesting texture. It's super fuzzy, kind of like lamb's ear. If you've ever felt lamb's ear before, that's exactly what this feels like. And I got it because it's a really dark alocasia. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it, but here we are. Feels a little bit dry to me, which is fine. This order did spend a little bit of extra time in transit, so that's kind of to be expected. Let's take a look at the root situation here. Roots look good. I'm not going to disturb the roots too much. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the plug right into the mix. They're already stressed from travel. I don't really want to disturb the roots too much. I think that'll be just a little bit too much for the plant. Really cool texture. I'm gonna put some clay pebbles down here. It's about this high. Hopefully you guys can see all right. Maybe I'll move it. The fridge just turned on, so I really hope you can't hear that. Okay, so the battery died when I was potting up this plant, but I just went ahead and I finished it up, so that's what it looks like. The first one is done. Next plant, let's do this one. This is a beauty star, Calathea or Gopertia beauty star. So what was I saying when the battery died? Oh yeah, so all of the appliances. Ooh, yeah, that's what I remember it looking like. So all of the appliances are new in the kitchen, minus the fridge. The fridge is probably the old one that came with the home, so it's gonna be like one of the first things that I think we want to replace in this home. Interesting, and the plug is very different too. It's definitely a lot more damp, which is good, but if you haven't seen what a beauty star looks like, this is what it looks like. It's very cute. The stripes come in pink. In my opinion, one of the harder calatheas to keep happy. I remember I had a big pot of this when I first got into plant collecting, and I really want to give this one another go in semi-hydro instead and see how it does, because when I first started plant collecting, I was just growing in soil, which I think a lot of people start off like that too. And I have since transitioned most of my plants into passive hydroponic. I think passive hydroponic is going to be hopefully the key to what's going to keep this plant happy. So I just kind of want to see how it does. Now obviously this isn't a passive hydro thing going on here. I just kind of want all of these plants to acclimate, and then I'll transfer it into passive hydro. This is the plan that I have for this plant. It's actually quite bigger than I expected it being. I saw some of the photos on Etsy, and the photos on Etsy were definitely smaller than this, but that's a pleasant surprise. Okay, here's the beauty velvet all done. Actually, let's open the other calathea I got, because this one is not going to go into these 2-inch pots since it's in a 4-inch already. But this is another calathea I got. This is what it's called, Helen Kennedy. I honestly haven't even heard of this calathea, but the photo looks very interesting. So let's open this up. Okay, it's in like a plastic bag. I don't know if I've seen this kind of packaging for a plant before. Oh. Okay. Definitely more of an understated calathea, but I'm digging it. Oh, the soil is wet. It is very damp, and it looks like it's in like straight peat moss without perlite or anything in it, but this is what the Helen Kennedy looks like. It's got a really nice, pretty pattern on it. So my plans for this one is to just kind of acclimate it for a week or so as is, and then I'll go ahead and pot it up into whatever mix I think it'll be happy. Next up in line, I think this is the black maranta. I don't really know how to say that name, but it's definitely the black maranta. Oh, such a cute small baby. I know here it's so juvenile you can't even tell that it's gonna be a black maranta, but when it grows up, the pattern on it should definitely turn darker. Right now it kind of just looks like a normal green maranta. But yeah, I wanted to add a couple more marantas to my collection. So this is one of 2 that I got in this order, and it seems to be in that same mix that the beauty star is in. Roots feel good. I just can't believe it's been so long since I filmed. It's like, I kind of forgot how to do this in a way. This last month or so has just felt so surreal. Just the fact that we bought a home and we moved way earlier than we had planned to. Our lease in our old house, it was not up until June. So we actually had to find, oh my God, that is a whole other long story that I probably don't even feel like going into right now, but we had to break our lease and had to find new tenants and everything, and that was a nightmare, but we're able to do it and we got out of the lease. So thank God, because we would have to be paying the rent there and mortgage here until June, and that would have just been unsustainable for sure. Black Maranta all done. That's what it looks like. This is actually moving quite quickly. I thought this was gonna take forever to film, but pleasantly surprised. Okay, so this is a fittonia, and it's called ruby lime. And before you think I'm crazy, because fittonia are very hard to keep happy because they're such thirsty plants, but again, I want to try it out in passive hydro and see how it does. Oh, look at how cute that is. So cute. I had no idea fittonias are coming out with all these kinds of hybrids, or maybe they've always had hybrids of them, but yeah, I've never seen a fittonia like this in the store before. I got 2 fittonias in my order. This is also in quite a different plug, but fittonia roots are very fine, very small. With this one, I don't even think I'm gonna put any clay pebbles down at the bottom since it needs all of the water retention it can get. That is so cute. I really hope I do this plant justice, because I really do like these plants. It's just I think these plants get a bad rap because they are so easy to kill, and when they are dry, they will let you know that they are dry. They look dead when they're dry. Hopefully the tree fern in this mix is going to make this plant happy. What a little cutie. Okay, what's next? This is the other Maranta I got. It's the Maranta light veins. I saw plants with Melissa get a light veins Maranta, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, ooh, okay. Oh my God. So cute. What the heck? How adorable are you? Okay, this Maranta is stunning. As the name suggests, it has light veins, and it is just the most pretty Maranta I think I own. I really hope this one grows out to be a big beauty, because that will just make me so happy. So what was I saying? Right, so plants by Melissa. She bought one of these, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah. I definitely want one of those, but I think at the time they were just more rare, so I didn't want to spend the money on it. But when I saw it on the Green Escape, I was like, hell yeah. I think it was like 20 bucks, I want to say, which is way more affordable. I think she mentioned she paid like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but definitely way more than $20. I thought she said she paid like close to $100 for like a cutting of it. When I saw that, I was like, yep, adding that to my cart. The Green Escape is just so dangerous because you have one plant in mind that you want, and then when you see all the other plants they have, and just the fact that they are on the cheaper side to just go ahead and add one, you just end up with so many more plants than you were anticipating on buying. And this is exactly what happened with my order. I don't even know what the original plant that I wanted was, but then I just kept going through their store and adding, and then now we have, I think I bought like 12 plants, I want to say. Yeah. Maranta light veins. It is so, so pretty. Silver dragon, and you might be asking, oh, the last video you posted, wasn't that a silver dragon? And yes, you would be correct. So I did buy a silver dragon, and much bigger than this one, and it was one of the casualties of the move. Oh, this is like a proper plug, and the roots look fried. Okay, that is why this plant looks super sad. Oof, yeah. It has a couple of good roots, but you can hopefully see some of those roots look dead. And I really hate it when plugs come in this kind of a mesh, because it just, I'm just gonna tear off the mesh here. It's also quite dry too, so that might be part of the reason. Yeah, see, this is why I hate this mesh, because the roots grow through the mesh, and then when you try to take it off, you kind of have to tear off the roots too. So I'm just gonna open up the mesh so that other roots have a chance to escape. But yeah, this is sad. There's definitely some, it kind of looks to me like a little bit like dry rot on the bottom. So I'm just gonna pluck that off where the roots just got way too dry. But there are some little baby roots in here, so hopefully it should be fine. But that is exactly why, but that tells me why this plant looks a little sad. One of the leaves are definitely yellowed on the bottom, so that one's definitely gonna go. I have not had the best luck with alocasia so far. As soon as I saw how fine their roots are, I kind of knew that they were gonna be a little bit harder to master. So yeah, what happened to the silver dragon in the last video was, so I moved, and when I moved I had to unpack a lot of things, and I tried to unpack a lot of my plants. Some of the plants did not get unpacked in a timely manner and did go through a long period of drought. And when I mean like long period, it's like I didn't water them for say like a week. Not the worst, but the silver dragon in particular got dried out, and when I went to water it, the roots had dry rot on them. And because I hadn't taken it out of that potting mix that I had it in, I didn't really realize that the roots were dry rotted. So the rot went all the way up into the stem, and by the time the plant started to show the stress in its leaves, I kind of unpotted it, and then it was pretty much stem rot, and then that was that. I thought I could give this guy a try. It, again, was not that much money. This is what that one looks like. Hopefully it'll bounce back. Moving on, this is the other fittonia I got. It's called a white dragon. And from the photo, it looked kind of like the ones you normally see at the big box stores, but with a little bit of a cooler pattern to it. Yeah, that's so cool. It looks like little tree branches. This is another weird situation. I've actually never seen this before, so I thought it was roots for a second, but it's not. It's actually like a weird white mesh that's all around the plug. I don't know if I want to get it out because I feel like I'm gonna pull out the roots that have grown through it, but if I don't, then we're gonna have a bigger problem down the road. So I might just try to gently move it out. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. I think we still salvaged some of the roots in here, but yeah, look at this weird white mesh. This one up. I can already see my camera starting to overheat, so really hope we're not gonna have to do that whole shutdown thing, because that is so annoying. If you guys have ever had to deal with that, camera battery overheating, it's so annoying when you're filming. Okay, planted this one a little bit lower in the pot, but this is the white tiger fittonia. Next up is the alocasia friedic. Definitely juvenile, but you can kind of start to see the veins that it'll get when it grows up. Very cute, very cute. I think if it's the regular green friedic like this is, okay, thank God the roots look way better than the last one. I think if it's the regular green friedic, they're called calathea, if I pronounced that correctly. I really don't know if I did. Which is fine if it's damp, but when that shit dries out. I hope all these plants are gonna like this mix. It's definitely a gamble to use a newer mix when you get new plants like this. I feel like tree fern though, you can't really go wrong with it. This is the friedic or the calathea. We got another alocasia. This is alocasia and then all it says is BV. I don't know off the top of my head what BV would stand for. Oh, black velvet. Yes, it's so cool. Oh, black velvet. Yes, it's so cool. Alright, sorry, camera turned off. Is it recording? Okay, yes it is. Alright, so this is the alocasia black velvet. Leaves look a little bit smushed, but they'll flatten out in no time. Super duper cool. They also cut off a leaf here, but that's okay, and it looks like that's where the new leaf is gonna come out. Roots also are looking good. I wish I could say that these are all of the new plants that I got in this last month, but that would be a lie. I have bought so many new plants in this last month, which is just not advisable, especially when you're moving house and you have to buy things for the house. I just keep finding all of these really amazing plants that I feel like I can't pass up, but you know, you can always pass up new plants, and I have been justifying it by saying that I purged a lot of plants. For sure in the next video, I'll kind of show you guys all of the new plants I got. It's mostly anthurium and anthurium seedlings and stuff. Another justification, if they're small, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Lies. All potted up. This is an alocasia scalprum. Very cool texture. This is what it looks like. Green, but then hopefully you guys can see that texture across it. It's like raised and it feels pretty smooth. Scalprums, when they grow up, look so cool. They get darker and they just look like goth plants, I guess, if you're into those plants. And it's in that white mesh, and I don't think I can get it out in this mesh. It's just, look at the roots. They've just grown all into it. I guess you're just gonna have to live in this. Sorry, buddy. I guess we're gonna play that fun game of the camera battery overheating and then turning off, and then I have to start and stop again. Love it. So scalprum is potted up. Hopefully that was the last thing we did. This is a little interesting. This is the Alocasia nebula imperalis, and it's wrapped up in 2 little packages, and there's a note taped to it. Oh, and I tore it in half. Oh man. Why am I like this? I don't know. Okay. What was the note gonna say before I savagely tore it in half? Okay. Hi there, thank you for ordering from our shop. Due to leaf count, we have included an additional plant. Thank you, we appreciate your business. Oh, what is due to leaf count? Guess we'll find out. Oh, so because it has one leaf, they included 2 for insurance purposes, I'm guessing. That's nice. That is nice of them to do. Then I'm guessing this is another Imperalis. It's always so nice when companies go out of their way to do something really nice that they really didn't have to do. This one seems darker. Definitely a lot darker than the bigger one. And you can even see the veins in the back here. This has such way more pronounced veins than this one here. Very interesting. This is what the roots are looking like. Not bad. There's definitely some rot on this one. Kind of looks like dry rot, so I'll go ahead and just take it off of there. But this one definitely has, I would say this one has the better root system out of the 2 here. I feel like I could have added even more pon into this mix because it looks like I put more tree fern in it, but it really was only like a small amount of tree fern. So interesting. Maybe it's because that the tree fern gets really like powdery, and then when you hydrate it, it just expands more. I have no idea. There was one other alocasia that I did order, which was out of stock at the time. I think it was called an alocasia blood moon, which I've never heard of before either, but it was like a hybrid between, I want to say, the mellow and the silver dragon. And unfortunately that one was out of stock when they packaged up my order, so they did refund me for that plant, but they did order that one as well. So it was just not meant to be, which is fine. I definitely don't need more plants at this point. This one's looking a little tipsy, but hopefully it'll straighten out okay. We are all done. Let's water these guys and we'll wrap up the video. Continuing on with trying out new things in this video, I got this as an extra gift in one of my plant purchases last week, and it is hilariously called fish shit. I don't know if any of you guys have used this before or have heard of it before, but I personally have never heard of it before. But it's basically good bacteria for your plant, and I looked it up and a lot of people swear by this, so I thought, well, I got 2 of these bottles, so why not try it out and see how my plants like it. There's some dosage instructions on the side, so I'm gonna use about 5 mils per gallon. I really hope it doesn't smell like fish shit. I don't think I can use it indoors. Oh, it says to shake well, actually. Let me do that. So we're shaking well. Should I like dare a sniff? I'm kind of scared. Oh, it doesn't smell like anything. It had like a very faint smell. Yeah, it barely smells like anything. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm smelling fish shit on camera. Sorry, that's my trash can. It sometimes automatically opens to people's voices, so it's kind of like a haunted trash can. Anyway, it doesn't smell like anything. I'm just gonna take 5 mils. I don't think you guys can see, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It looks like murky water with some particles in it. I thought it was gonna be like a lot more thick, but it really isn't. It must be concentrated. I'm gonna put the cap on, shake it up. So it looks a little murky, but you can't really see anything in it. So we're just gonna go ahead and water everyone here. The nice thing I like about these trays is that any of the water is just going to run off at the bottom of the tray, and then later when the plant needs it, it'll uptake it. It's a little bit of extra insurance. And since the substrate was already wet, I'm not gonna go too heavy. I'm not gonna water this one because it is already very, very wet. Just going to bring these closer to you guys. Here we are. All of my little starter plants from the Green Escape. We are all done potting up these plants. I think my favorite is definitely the Maranta light veins. I can't wait to see that plant grow up. I think it's gonna be so beautiful. But I hope you had a good time watching this video. I am so glad to be back. I have so many things that I want to film. I have a lot of new plants I want to show you guys. There's a lot of growth updates. I have so many plants that need desperate repotting. I think that's probably going to be the next video, is me repotting the plants that are just, it's bad, guys. It's bad. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.